got into the market, I bought some of those stuffs that the customers needed. And when we came back, we came back with about 4 to 5 bags. And as we brought it back, instantly, we started getting sales, right? We started selling until we noticed about 2 to 3% started coming back. Those customers that left started coming back, and we started recording more sales. More customers were coming in, right? So when that happened, he looked at me and I was like, wow.
Welcome to the MBMT Show with the Speaking Nightingale.
Praise be to God for keeping us till this point. It has been such a year, but we're still here and we're still pushing. And like they say, when there is life, there is hope. And so we're grateful first for the gift of life. And you know how we wrap it up on the MBMT Show. Every last Thursday, we put the spotlight on an entrepreneur. And this very one was with me at the last edition of Business GPS Connect, organized by the Shippers Nation here in Calabar. And he did something really spectacular for the business people who were present. What did he do? You will get to hear as we introduce my guests. On the spotlight this morning, he is the host of the Chidi Finance Show. He's here to give us some financial show, right? I'm welcoming Chidi Ebube Emmanuel to the MBMT Show. You are welcome. I like to call him Chi, so maybe I should call him Chi Finance, right? Good morning, Chi. How are you today?
I'm very, very fine. Thank you, Gloria.
I can see that you're very, very fine. You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
Awesome. All right, so let's get to the discussion we're having with you this morning on the MBMT Show. First, let's start with the Chidi Finance Show. What is it all about? I'm certain that in a way it's connected with what you did for the entrepreneurs who were present at the Business GPS Connect last weekend, where you were able to record the business owners there sharing something about their business in order to showcase that to the rest of the public, and of course on social media platforms to boost their businesses, promote their businesses. That's what we do. So let's get to hear from you what the Chidi Finance Show is all about.
All right, it's interesting. So why I started the Chidi Finance Show was because I noticed a lot of small business owners were usually complaining that they have issues with opportunities to grow their business, and they also have issues with strategies to also grow and succeed in the business field. So almost every show nowadays, or most of the podcasts that are around, they are not specific to small businesses, right? So I thought of starting up something where I get to reach out to top performing businesses, especially in Calabar. In fact, now we've gone national now, so where you get to look around for top business official, top business persons, right, who are both in Nigeria, outside Nigeria, right, but they're Nigerians, where they come to share tips that will help small businesses and small business owners, right, succeed in their businesses. Then, as part of what we do too, we also help promote these businesses. So it's not just teaching them about what they need to do. We also showcase them, right, to a large market, because especially since I started in Calabar, I noticed that most of the business owners in Calabar just see Calabar as the market, right? So they are not exposed to the bigger market, which is social media, even transnational kind of businesses. So what we do is to help these business owners with tips. We bring out people who have already done this, those who have succeeded in their kind of businesses, to share tips that will help them grow. Then we also interview these businesses to know what their challenges, the small business, to know what their challenges are. Then we provide solution and also provide opportunities for these businesses to also grow and get access to a large band of customers.
Yes, I totally agree that this is an excellent strategy to help small business owners expand their frontiers. And I would say, well done. I'm glad that we are getting to collaborate and work together in this regard. And so I know that for you, your interest in businesses is not just something that has come up now.
Yeah.
I'm sure that there is a link between that and your experience as someone who has done business before.
Yeah, very true.
Would like you to highlight that journey of yours of doing business, because I'm certain that there could be lessons that people could derive from your experiences. So what is your story as far as entrepreneurship is concerned?
All right, interesting. So 6 years ago, that was 2017, after I left secondary school, my dad introduced me to the family business. So in the family business, we already had the business was going on for about, I think, 10 years or 15 years ago. So when I got in, I saw that, okay, we're actually doing very well, but we had some challenges. And what were these challenges? So my dad was used to the old pattern of doing business. And he was not seeing any opportunities, any better opportunities to expand or to do better, right? So I got into the business first year, second year, third year. I noticed we were beginning to lose most of the customers I saw the first year when I joined business. So we're having, and again, we started seeing competitions, right, around us. And my dad was always the kind of person who for him, he feels that business should be whatever should be, meaning if he has a customer, they will remain his customers, not knowing that customers' priorities changes, right? So when they come to buy from you today, they may not, if they don't see, there are other businesses also trying to woo them, right? So if they don't see you actively doing most of those things those businesses are doing, they will leave you. So I noticed he was not paying attention to this, and I think 3 years later, I noticed that we lost about 5 to 10% of the customers we used to have. So I looked at it and I noticed the competition we had. There was someone who was selling opposite my dad, selling almost the same thing we're selling, right? And that percentage of customers who left were now going to buy from that other customer. So I was like, this stuff is now becoming a serious, is like they call it, is it an epidemic or customer pandemic, something like that, right? So
and it wasn't caused by village people.
It wasn't caused by, yeah, exactly. It wasn't caused. So, and now that was even the same mistake my dad made. So we were always going to church, praying against this competitor every time, as though maybe she's using stuff to get the customer.
Exactly.
But then I told him, I said, look, customers are changing, society is changing, things are changing, so people's priority changes, right? So I had to work around it, and I noticed, what happened was I met some of the customers who left. I reached out to them and I was like, okay, please, what's the challenge? Why are you not coming to buy again? Because people will tell you, especially the customers, will always tell you what their challenge is. And I spoke to 1, 2, 3 persons, and they told me, okay, that some of the stuff my dad is selling, they're no longer interested. They want trending stuff, and they needed very good materials and the rest, because we deal on tailoring materials, laces and the rest. So I told my dad, this is what we're going to do. When next you're going to the market, I'll join you, so I'll get to buy this stuff that these customers want. And we got money. Okay, went to the market. I think over 2.5, something like that. We got to the market. I told him, look, now I'm in charge. Let me buy this stuff. Let's get to the market. Test me for this time. I know you've been doing business for a long time. Test me. And we got to the market. I bought some of those stuffs that the customers needed. And when we came back, we came back with about 4 to 5 bags. And as we brought it back, instantly, we started getting sales, right? We started selling and selling and selling and selling and selling until we noticed about 2 to 3% started coming back. Those customers that left started coming back, and we started recording more sales. More customers were coming in, right? So when that happened, he looked at me and I was like, wow, how did you get to, so you just finished secondary school, how did you get to know about this? I say, the fact that with my phone is also an opportunity, because I get to see what other business owners are saying, learn from them, and also showcase this stuff. Then, now relating it back to why I started my podcast, right? So when I noticed this line, I realized that my dad wasn't even aware of how he could utilize, because he has an Android phone now, how he could utilize social media to help himself, right? And I noticed, okay, other business owners should be also having this same challenge. So there are no most of the videos, most of the stuff, most of the people that talk about small business growth are mostly white. So we rarely have people who start up conversations around small businesses. Those that start up are usually, okay, there's one Vusi from South Africa, then very, very few. So I said I have to start something that will help people, both old and young. When they listen to it, they'll just implement what I said what we discussed in the podcast, and now help them succeed in their business. So far we've been able to do so well. In fact, we're able to move from 1 store, 2 store, 3 stores. After that happened, we've done it. We've expanded, and the business has scaled so far. It has been an interesting journey.
Thank you so much for sharing that part of the journey. And let's get into your personal experience. I know that you've had your experience as an individual. Yeah. Are there some lessons, mistakes you'd like to share with us?
Okay, so I'll highlight 2. So when we started business, remember I said I started in my father's business, right? So because of how long the business has been in existence, I was influenced. So there were things that we were doing that we felt were the normal ways of doing things. So I am from Igbo. I'm an Igbo man, right? We, like they say, that we love money, right? So one of the challenges I had one of the days was a customer came to buy an item, and she did not have the complete money to buy that item. Right, and let's say the item was around 10k, so she had 5,000 naira to buy, and she was very, very interested in that material. I told her, okay, what will happen is you can pay deposits, and when you come back, I'll tell you maybe 1 or 2 days. We pass it 1 or 2 days, the material may not be reserved for you any longer. So she gave that money, and not knowing, I did not know she was also planning to pay that same day. So when she paid that, made that deposit, another customer came when she left. Another customer came in and told me she was also interested in that material. What I now did was, since the material was 10,000, I was trying to chase that customer. So I told the person 20,000 naira. The lady looked at me and said 20,000 naira. She said, okay, no problem, I'm going to buy it. 20,000. I looked at it and I'm like, I told this other person 10,000. She has already given me 5,000 naira. Based on customer agreement,
yes,
you should have to stay with the other person. Mm-hmm. So I looked at her. My dad looked at me and I said, this is an opportunity to make extra money. So I said, okay, what will happen is we would have to request for this material as fast as possible. Since we told that customer, okay, since the agreement is it should not exceed 2 days,
yes,
we're going to send for, and we wanted to also send for that material extra. So I collected money from this person, and 5 minutes later, after selling for the person who gave me 20,000, 5 minutes later, this lady who gave 5,000 naira deposit.
Not 5
material.
days later.
Not 5 days, 5 minutes later. So she was still around the market.
Yes.
So I don't know. Maybe she had somebody. She went to borrow or something like that. When she came back and she told me, "Here's the 5,000 naira. Where's my material?" I looked at her. I looked at my dad. My dad left the store and looked at me. I said, "What is this?" I could not say anything to her for about a minute. I now tried to explain. I said, "Look, this material, this that." She got offended. She got her money and left the store. Now. That was.
I can guess that was the end.
That was the end. That was the end. So I saw her 2 years. Is it 2 years or a year later? Somewhere we had. I went to meet a family friend, and she sold for that family friend. When she saw me, she asked my auntie. She said, "Do you know this guy?" She said, "Yes." Say he's my brother. She said, "This guy is a very wicked person." I said, "How? What happened?" Unknown to me that this lady has affiliations with the past governor.
Wow.
And when my auntie started explaining who she is, and I looked at it, I'm like, wow. So because of 15,000 naira or because of extra 10,000 naira, I lost a customer that would have been buying more stuff from us. So that was one challenge that was one challenge I had. The challenge was having to break customer agreement because of extra chicken, or they call it chicken change, because of extra money. So that was like a very big, and I know a lot of business owners do this kind of stuff. So we want to make that quick cash and forget about
integrity.
Yeah, exactly. Forget about integrity. That's one. Then the other one is not having to lose for your customers to gain. So most times everybody wants to make money. We know that as business owners we want to make money, but most times it's always good to help customers buy from you. And how do you help customers buy? Most times they come to your store and you needed to make an extra profit from that stuff. But then 500 naira is still enough profit. Let's say you wanted to make a 1,000 naira profit, but then you look at this customer, she doesn't have enough, right? And she wants to buy this stuff from you. Taking out 500 naira would not make you lose business, right? But the fact that, in fact, customers can tell when you are sacrificing for them.
Sure.
So when you now try to make a pressure and you want to show that, okay, that extra 500 naira, without it you cannot make, and you now become very, very aggressive, customers will tell. If eventually they pay, they may not come back to buy from you. So most times, so what I learned, right, is we have to pay the price most times for our customers. And I have a story about it, but I will not want to go deep into it. But I remember I had a customer who usually come to buy from my dad, and I think about 2 or 3 months we did not see her. When she came back to buy stuff from us, she did not have extra money to buy. Unknown to me that she has been sick throughout those 2 years. So what happened was, I told my dad said she has to pay the money. You know, he's an old man. I said, okay, what will happen is I'll pay the extra 500 naira for her. I told my dad, I said, look, that 500 naira I'll pay, let her get her stuff. So after paying for her, she just thanked me and left. Later on, I saw her, I don't know, we met somewhere. I noticed she was actually sick. Very, very sick. Very, very sick. But then when she saw me, she had to recommend her friend to me. Said, look, this guy, they sell this, they sell that, they sell. That person who she recommended to me came to our store and bought one of the highest market we've ever sold.
Can you imagine that?
So most times, just 500 now, 1,000 now wouldn't make you lose business. Wouldn't make you lose anything. Just be able to close your eyes and allow customers to maybe, how do you say it? Allow customers to cheat you for the minute so that you'll be able to gain them for a longer term.
In other words, place value on
Exactly.
the relationship, especially with customers who are return customers.
Exactly.
They come back again and again.
Yeah.
And even when they have other options, they still come back to you. So place value on that relationship because there are always long-term benefits. Thank you so much, Chidi, for sharing all of these. And let's get into the work that you're doing with small businesses. I know that so far you've been able to connect with some of them, and if we were to have all of them in one room together, can you share with us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tips, whatever the number you can share within the time frame that we have to discuss this, what they can do deliberately to help them grow their businesses as we begin to approach the new year?
All right, interesting. So one mistake I noticed, I'll start with a mistake, then I'll provide solution. So one mistake I noticed a lot of businesses make, especially small business owners, is they work in isolation. So now there's something called, there's a statement that is usually made. I think they say there's beauty in partnership, right? You work in isolation, so maybe you sell wares or you sell perfumes or whatever you sell, and you are like, okay, because I'm the one that started the business, I will not reach out to people. I will not want to meet people who have been selling this stuff before me, or people who are also selling together with me. Maybe they're not around my area, but just to find out how they are faring, how their business is going, right, and what tips you can learn from them. Because when you start working in isolation, you think, you become a shadow of yourself, and you think some of the successes you are making are big until you talk to somebody who is doing much more than you. In fact, something happened to me recently. So in my business, I was doing, in fact, this year, my business started doing, I think, about 1 million naira in profits per month. And I was actually very excited. I was very, very excited. I was like, wow, I'm becoming very, this Calabar, they said nothing is happening. I'm actually doing very well. Until I called a friend in Lagos. I was like, wow, see what my business is doing now. He told me, how much do you say you're making in profits per month? I explained. I told him. He said, do you know that money you are making in a month is what I make per week? I said, the same stuff I am doing, the same thing you are doing, right? So what I do is, if you want to ask what kind of business I do, so I do more of affiliate marketing, where I reach out to big brands, right, and help them promote the item and get paid commissions for their businesses from the sales I make, right? So he told me, started explaining to me that he makes something less than, he lives in Lagos. He makes something less than 5 to 10 million naira per month from his business, from home. Right, when I heard him say this, he now boosted my confidence. In fact, I had to keep short. Now, what I do is I try to reach out to people who are doing businesses. The same thing I'm doing. So you get to learn from them. And also, and one good thing about people who are successful, especially business owners, they always want to share their successes and their experiences with you, so you get to learn, because what they have experienced, they cannot go back and unlearn. They cannot go back and redo, or the mistakes they made, they cannot go back and correct it. So for you that is coming up, they want to show you so you don't make that same mistake. So as a business owner, don't work in isolation. Try to reach out to people. In fact, if you're a seller, if you're a fashion designer, whatever you're doing, try to have at least 3 or 4 people who are also fashion designers, so you can learn from them, right? And especially if you can also do this where you have friends from across Nigeria, not just in Calabar, so that the perspective will be bigger, right? So that's one. Then another thing you also have to do as a business owner is also try to attend business summit, like what Gloria is doing, right? Where, in fact, when I was invited, I think that was in October when I was invited to that. I told my team, right? We discussed. I said, I wish we had a business business meeting a gathering of business owners where we stay to talk about challenges. Then we have people who come, just like I am doing my podcast. We have people, successful business owners who would come share their experiences and also share tips with them. So you're able to attend conferences like this. You are able to attend meetings like this to also help you, right? Learn 1 or 2 so you can be able to apply in your business. That's 2. Then the third one is involve yourself in social media. So I did a video yesterday. I posted on my page. My page on social media is Chidi Finance, right? And that video was about promoting businesses on social media. So I noticed a lot of small businesses don't take social media serious. They think it's only when they get to Coca-Cola stage or they get to these big brands kind of stage, that's when they should start taking posting serious. That's actually not true. So we have a lot of businesses who are making sales just on TikTok. So I've coached and I've mentored several, at least 4 to 5 business owners on TikTok who have been doing very, very well for themselves on TikTok. Take social media very serious. What you can do is, I'm not the kind of person who will tell you go to all social media platforms. You can pick just one, maybe Twitter, maybe Facebook, maybe Instagram, maybe TikTok, right? Talk about your business. It may not necessarily be you posting pictures, product pictures. No, it can just be a day in your life. As, okay, let's say a day in my life as a fashion designer. You wake up, you just do a short video where you wake up, go to your store, carry customer clothes and start sewing. Try to do, there's something called time lapse. Just try to time lapse the speed, and let it not be more than 1 minute. These are things you do that your potential customers will see, and they'll begin to enjoy what you do. Because people think other people don't, their customers don't value tellers, is their lie. When they begin to relate with you, that's even when they can buy from you, also refer you to customers. Very, very important. I think that's the third point. Then the last point I would also like to mention is try to also think big as a small business owner. Try to think big. I was discussing with my team members when we were returning after the GPS summit we did on Sunday, right? So we were discussing. And they asked me, one of my team members asked me a serious question. He said, Chidi, I said yes. He said, these videos, this content we are creating on social media, what is your long-term plan for this? Are we just going to be doing interviews for business owners? Are we just going to be doing interview with business owners and promoting them? What else? What is like the big plan? And it struck me for about 2 minutes. I said, this is a very, very interesting. I've not thought of it that way, because I felt, okay, let's keep on doing until as we progress, then we'll begin to. He said, no, let's know what the big plan is, so that if we have any challenge now, we'll know that, okay, we are paying off. Yeah, we have a bigger payoff, right? So when I thought of it, I said, okay, yeah. So we have to do. I started putting stuff in place. Right, so as a business owner, even though you are small, even though you are working from home, even if you don't have a store, right? Tell yourself, okay, within the next 1 year, this is where I want to be. Within the next 10 years, this is where I want my business to be, right? It will help you shape your business. It will also help you succeed in the long term.
Thank you so much, Chidi Finance, for coming on the MBMT show this morning. I'm sure that the people who may want to connect with you after the show. So how can we connect with you?
Right. So you can reach out to me on you can reach out to me on TikTok. My name is Chidi Finance. YouTube. I have a channel where I post my podcast. I also do daily videos, right, to help business owners. So Chidi Finance on all social media platforms. Reach out to me. You can send me a message. I'm going to respond to you. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you. And we usually sign off with a quote, and I'm going to allow Chidi to be the one to sign off on the show this morning. So, Chidi, over to you.
All right. So my favorite quote is a quote by Vusi Febakwayo. Start small. Start as a small business, but think big. That's just it. So as a small business, just start wherever you are, but then have a goal that, okay, this business is not going to remain small, it will go big. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Chidi, and that's a perfect way to sign out of the show this morning. This is the voice of the Speaking Nightingale signing out.